The broadcast now.
Tune in and turn up your radio. It's on. Turn up your speakers and let them blow me on right now. You already heard about it. Franchella and Lynette discuss the topics. Pick up your phone and call. So real, talking about facts and the metaphysical. So deep, you gon' need a rap to make sure you stay afloat. So baby, don't you care what they say? It don't matter what you're doing, just say it. But later, you can take some of this flavor. Cause real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Hey, yo, Sean. Hey, listen, I told them one night, man. I appreciate that, man. That was real. Hey, real recognize real is a G-Law. Always be yourself, never be a fraud. I just up and down, call it seesaw. Stay woke, triple R, ringing the alarm. Franchella and Lynette in the bed. Made from pure chocolate, dipped in vanilla. Caught up in the rain under your umbrella. Always rock the house from the roof to the cellar. Yeah, that's why I gotta tune in. When you're on camera, I hope they zoom in. So many shows when you never lose in. Out my mind, they addicted so you can move in. Cause real, recognize real. Always turn up, so play back and just chill. Ain't thinking about drama, ain't thinking about bills. Natural guys, no pills. Just shit, baby. Real, recognize it, real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real.
Welcome to another Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. I'm your host, Franchella, and got my girl, Lynette, the best co-host anybody could ask for. This girl right here, yes, she be killing it. She be rocking it, and I so appreciate her. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We have a great show lined up for you as usual, but before we get to our fabulous guests that we have for this evening, we always have those hot topics going on. So over to you, Lynette.
So first of all, I want to say rest in peace to John Travolta's wife, Kelly Preston, who died after a long battle with breast cancer. And I also want to say rest in peace to Naya Rivera, the actress who was recently found in a lake where her and her son went out on a boat. So rest in peace to them as well. And rest in peace to everybody who's lost loved ones as we still face this horrible coronavirus pandemic, the COVID-19 that has changed the world. The world.
And it's crazy because, with a lot of states opening up very early, now they're seeing such a rise in cases. And I mentioned this the other day. I mean, even though I did say, I want to really know how many people have either passed from this or have to be hospitalized with this new rise of cases, have to be hospitalized and on a ventilator versus those who are testing positive, but they have no symptoms. But they have, you know, a case of it. It's just like what is it? Uh, Something they said that we all have in our bodies, that half of the world don't even know that they have it. And so could be the same thing with the COVID-19, but unfortunately, even though they're testing positive and don't have symptoms, they can be passing it on to someone who have pre-existing conditions, and that person then is put on a ventilator or ICU. So, you know,
being asymptomatic, you know, people walk around being asymptomatic. Those are the people who have it, the virus, haven't been tested, but once they are tested, they find out that they do have it. Like my pastor, Pastor Wilder, he actually was asymptomatic, had no symptoms, but when they tested him, he tested positive. So unfortunately, the people that he was around had to get tested too. Now, fortunately, most of them have tested negative, which is a good thing. But just like you said, the scary part is not knowing, you know.
Right.
And then in the Black communities, we don't have access to the testing that other people have. So thankfully now, with people bringing awareness to it, there are now Black doctors who are coming in to the Black communities to do the testing. It's just a matter of the people not being afraid to go get the test.
Well, and the bottom line is, wear your mask. You know, wear your mask, because it's like, I wear my mask, but my mask is actually protecting you. What are you doing to protect me? You know? Exactly. To protect me. And that's the issue. And it's frustrating because, you know, we spent some time down the shore a lot, and they are just all over the place with no mask, just freely, like it doesn't even exist. As much as we want it to not exist, like, for an example, you know, we don't see God, you know, we don't see him in a physical being, but we know he's there, and we believe he's there. Exactly. Same as the coronavirus. It's all sunny out. It's a beautiful day, and everybody's out, and they want to jump in the beach, and they want to do this and do that. And you know, you don't see it. You don't physically see the COVID-19, so you think it doesn't exist.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. To your point, it's like I don't trust people like that much for me to say, okay, well, I'm not going to wear my mask because I don't believe. But even if you don't have it, you don't know if I have it or not. So wear your mask. Like to me, it's just not that difficult. Like people are saying, oh, I can't breathe. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it's annoying. Right. However, if it is something that's going to save your life, just put it on. You know,
and if we had shut the world down, the country down, right, for 14 days, you know, to everybody get enough food, do whatever. If we had shut it down for 14 days, back in March, when it wasn't hot, like now with the mask, yes, it's very uncomfortable because it's hot out. Nobody wants to be outside. You know, and like we went for the first time outdoor dining, and you know, you can't eat with your mask on, and of course it was a lot of social distance, very, very good place. But I was hot outside. Like that's when I want to go inside to eat. I'm sitting there and I'm saying, look, I think I'm going to have to get this food to go. I'm telling you, even with the umbrella, I was hot. So you know, it's just something that we're going to have to get used to.
Yeah, I agree. When I have dined outside too, and that's the worst experience for me. I never like eating outside, but now that we don't have an option, and I'm like a greedy person, I'm going to go out and eat. So I have my mask covering my nose, and then I just have my mouth exposed. Very uncomfortable, but I do what makes me comfortable. So anyway, this COVID has changed everybody's life. Is very frustrating. And then Mayor Kitty just announced today for Philadelphia that large events will not be able to go on because of the COVID all the way up until February of 2021. So if any of you had a large event planned, I advise you to contact the place where you had it booked, because now we're not able to have these big events. So myself and Franchella, we had to cancel. Franchella had a comedy show. She had to cancel it. She had some travel plans. She had to cancel. I also had a formal affair I had to cancel. So you just got to do what you got to do, because safety is more important than us partying and having fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So moving
And
on.
I saw it's to that real quick. I saw somebody post that says, you know, people didn't start putting on their seatbelts until they saw the sign, click it or ticket. So now, what do you have to have a sign to put on your mask it or casket? Which one you want?
Oh, that's not funny, but it was funny.
Exactly. So, but anyway, we can talk about that for days. Huh?
I was saying that they gave people fines, like if they had a mask police and they gave people fines, people would probably wear them. I mean, they're making them fashionable and stylish now, so that it's, they'll make you feel a little bit better. But either way, it is uncomfortable, but you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Of course, police. Speaking of police and masks and enforcing it, police brutality unfortunately continues. We continue to see on the news civil unrest. So we just want people to still keep the Black Lives Matter movement, keep moving it forward, and keep doing your peaceful protests for the injustices in the world. We don't need any more looting, any more rioting. We just need peaceful protests. Just make sure you get out there and vote, because your voice is your vote. So make sure you do that in any of the elections that are coming.
Exactly.
Do you want to add to that before we go into this hot topic of Will and Jada?
No, girl, we got to get into Will and Jada. Let's get it. I mean, this is something. COVID-19, Black Lives Matter. Everybody knows the issues. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. We don't have to keep beating you in the head about it. We just want you to protect yourself, protect others, and continue to fight. Black power. All I can say. Raise it up, girl. Raise it up. So yeah. So what do you got on Will and Jada?
So with Will and Jada, for those of you who may not know, I'm sure if you're on social media, you do know it is buzzing. A while ago, August Alsina, who's an artist, came out and said that he had a relationship with Jada Pinkett, and that he called it off years ago because his feelings got involved and so on and so forth. She wound up going back to her husband and yada yada. So the world was up in arms because a lot of people thought he was lying. He just was doing it as a publicity stunt to promote his new album that he has coming out. However, Jada Pinkett has set the record straight. She sat down with her husband Will Smith, who she has a show that she talked about it on the show What Happened. So she called it what her words were, an entanglement. So it's now a popular viraling word that's going around. Everybody's using the word now, entanglement. Oh, I want an entanglement, or I'm having an entanglement, as if it's something to be laughing about, which marriage is not a laughing matter. Infidelity is not a laughing matter, whether you're separated or whatever. Cheating is cheating or whatever. I don't know what people are calling it. But either way, she confessed to the fact that she did have a relationship with August Alsina while her and Will were separated. So they both said that they believed that their marriage was over, although they didn't sign the divorce papers. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just gonna put that out there, and y'all could digest it however you want to. But what are your thoughts, Franchella? So I know for me, I'm not married, so it's something that I do want to do one day, and I don't want to ever go boom, unhappily married forever, or for life, or bad marriage for life. I don't ever want to be that comfortable with not being happy. So being a married person who's been married for several years, what are your thoughts about this whole debacle?
So yes, let me just say tomorrow is my 27th wedding anniversary. And me and my husband will be together thank you very much, for 30 years. So we'll be celebrating our journey together. And having a show on relationship called Just Like that we did a couple of episodes for, I think we can definitely speak on this topic. So
I'm telling you should bring it back. I keep telling you, you and Tony should bring that show back. It's so important now.
Yes, a lot of people have approached us and asked us. I mean, they really have, and I think that we should. And we made it fun. You know, we made it fun for everybody. So anyway, everybody can relate to this. Everybody knows when you first get into a relationship, when you first get into a marriage, girlfriend, whatever it is, you get those goosebumps. It's different. You know what I'm saying? You get it's that excitement. You can't wait to be around them. You can't wait to do this. You can't wait to do that. You know, you have a different type of feeling. And that kind of goes away, you know. Sadly, no, I'm serious. And that's why we talk about this on Just Like That. Because there are things that people need to do to keep that spark, because it does. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
I agree.
We 27 years in, and it's not the same as it was that first date. Come on now. We're gonna keep it 100. This is real, recognized real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that doesn't mean, you know, we need to separate in order to find happiness. And this is something I heard Jada said, they had to find happiness. So
what made each other happy.
Right, you know, and so keeping that spark into your relationship, and you know, if you separate, it's not a separation it's to find yourself within yourself to know, you know, how you can be a better person.
Right.
You know, how you can be better within yourself to your partner. And it's not always about blaming your partner or saying, you know, he did this or she did this and they not this and they not. No, because it takes two and everybody's not perfect. So you need to look within yourself and say, okay, how can I make this, you know, better? How can I change something that I know that irritates him or irritates her to, you know, come together, because you're not going to change a person. You know, it's not going to be like this hunky dory. Oh, now what you want me to do? I'm gonna do that. It ain't gonna be that. It's a compromise. You have to compromise, and for them to separate. And it's just weird because it's like you basically, you know, turned this young kid inside out, because she was older and he was young.
Experience.
Right. And his feelings, even if she thought it was a slam bam, thank you ma'am type of situation, you know what I mean? But his feelings got involved. He's young. So you showing him, you teaching him some things, and now you want to separate. Now you want to say it's over, you know?
Now the thing is, to me, when you're in a relationship, whether it is a marriage or a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, if couples are having challenges in their relationship, communication is key. Communication is a critical point of getting your needs met. And I don't think that you go outside of your relationship to do that. I don't think you should ever go outside your relationship to fix what's wrong in your relationship. The only way to fix your relationship is to deal with your relationship inside of your relationship. The only thing that happens when you go outside of it is you complicate it, which is why she called it an entanglement, because an entanglement is a complicated relationship. You don't develop whole nother relationship, in my opinion, to fix the one that you're in. There's no way that you can fix it by adding another person to the equation. Even though they say that, oh, we thought we were over. Well, if you were over, sign the divorce papers, because that's what over means. Over means over. Right. You know, not separated. Now, you know, that's why I don't think that people should get involved if a person is still married or if a person is separated. To me, separated is still married. So if you come to me and you tell me, oh, I'm separated, but you know, we've been separated for 4 years or 3, however many years, I couldn't care less. It could be 10 years. I want to know what you're holding on to.
Right.
Because I date now with a purpose. in mind. If I date you now, then I see a potential future with you. And if you're married, you already telling me that there's no hope for us to get married because you already married. That's not the life that I want to live ever. So I'm not judging them because I don't know what took place in their lifestyle. And to be honest with you, I always say celebrities feel like they have to tell us too much of their information. Like me, I would have been like, okay, y'all can think whatever y'all want to think. I'm going to have a conversation in private with my husband. And that it would have been that. Nobody would have, August Alsina could have said whatever he wanted to say. I would have just sat down and had a private conversation, me and my husband and my children, and let them know what the real was. And the world could think what they want. But she decided to air it out. So that's why the court of public opinion is doing what they're doing.
Right, absolutely.
So
we can pick this back up because we do have our guest, Elizabeth Stevens, that's waiting in the queue right now. But also, you got to put your plug in there because you do have a book, and your book is entitled.
You talking about me, my book?
Yes, girl.
Cheaters. Okay.
Yes, your book.
So I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Elizabeth was my. So y'all should get my book, Cheaters Never Win: How to Stop Cheating in Any Relationship or Never Start. It talks about how to make better life decisions. So it talks about how we deal with temptation and how we're none of us are perfect, but we can all strive to be better people. So my book gives you the tools, the how-tos on how to be a better person and how to make better life decisions. So it's available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Lulu.com, as well as my website, loveexquisite.com. So make sure y'all get that book because it's good. And I'm working on a novel right now. I just finished my novel, so stay tuned. The end of the year, my novel will be out as well. So thank you, Franchella.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so we're going to bring in Elizabeth Stevens.
Hello, friend. Oh my God, girl.
See if I can get this together.
Good. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh my goodness.
So what we're going to do is
I want to jump through the screen and give you a big hug.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we want to properly introduce you. Our co-host Lynette Clement, she do the introduction. Go ahead, Lynette.
So in the U.S. and abroad, soprano Elizabeth Stevens is a revered, elegant artistry, majestic presence. She has a powerful voice. She is a performer. She's an opera singer who has performed on some of the world's biggest stages around the world, from Italy, France, China, Austria, and several different states in the United States. She's also been featured on CBS News, NBC 10, and WQXR in New York City. So off stage, Elizabeth is she's dedicated to teaching and educating vocalists about singing as well as vocal techniques. She also empowers them on the business of singing and how to live in true freedom. So in her New York studio, she has a voice studio called Studio Lis, which she offers innovative workshops and masterclasses for artists at all levels. Her workshops and masterclasses have been presented at several different colleges and universities around the world. Elizabeth is also a faculty member at Lincoln University, and in the summertime, she teaches voice lessons and masterclasses at the International Lyric Academy in Italy, nice, where she continues to aspire young artists. So welcome, Elizabeth.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. That is such a nice introduction. She sounds really cool.
Well, you gave me the material to be able to. So thank you for what you do, because if it wasn't for what you do, I wouldn't be able to give you those accolades. So thank you for what you do.
Yes,
thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you all for having me. It's so fun to be here.
Yes, because listen, I've had the pleasure of working with Liz, and when I found out that she was an opera singer, I was floored. you know, I mean, being an African American woman, you know what I'm saying? And singing opera, I'm saying, are you serious? Like, I can't believe this, you know, but yes, I mean, she's touring, she's doing her thing. She sounds amazing. I'm going to, actually, you know, you just did a performance that I want to share on our page, you know, after the show. And
awesome.
Yes, we just want to welcome you. And we just want to know how, you know, what made you get into singing opera? Like what happened in your life that you thought, you know, you can do this, or you wanted to do this?
That's such a good question. It definitely was not the music that I grew up on. It definitely was not, although my mom loves classical music. She used to listen to it a lot when we were little. And even opera every now and then she would listen to. And I remember, you know, being a little girl, and we liked to lay on the floor when we were little. And I would be laying on the floor listening to the radio while my mom was listening to that sometimes, and be like, what is that, you know? But it was actually in college that I first had the very notion that opera might be something for me. I was studying voice with a woman named Susan Beckley. She was my first formal voice teacher. And at some point in the first semester of my voice lessons, she looked at me and she said, "You are an opera singer."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "What, lady? What are you talking about?" Because up until then, I was the next Whitney Houston in my mind. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's some big shoes to fill. So that's good. That's good.
Listen, it was interesting because I was definitely, you know, like, well, I don't really know what that is, but I do like the sound of that music. And there were a couple of singers that I was familiar with. And then she started giving me the music to study. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. You know, like I kind of just fell in love with the music itself eventually. But she was the one. Susan Beckley told me.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, but she was the one, Susan Beckley. She told me, she said, "You're an opera singer." So then I became an opera singer.
So you studied under her? You studied under her leadership?
I studied under her for 4 years throughout my undergrad. And then after undergrad, a couple of, you know, winding roads led me to a woman named Sharon Sweet, who at the time was one of the leading dramatic sopranos in the world, which basically means that she has a big, huge voice and was singing all over the world. And she was like at the top of her field, and she had just joined the faculty at Westminster Choir College in New Jersey. So I was connected through a friend. I was connected to Sharon Sweet and started to study with her. And she was my teacher for like 10 years.
Wow.
So she's the one I would say who really taught me how to use, study, and work and like really understand my own instrument.
You know we're going to ask you to give us a piece of something.
Now you know. Why don't you have that little clip queued up to be? I got allergies. I came on here with my little croaky throat tonight, not planning to sing anything.
I'm not sure if something happened with my sound, but I'm having a difficult time hearing both of you.
Oh really? No.
Yeah.
It went low. I guess I don't know whether it might be my speakers, because I got a phone call and then the speakers went low, so it might be on my end.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so. I hear you very well.
Can you hear her?
Yep. I hear her, and I hear you very well.
I'll try and listen up.
So you know, like I have, you know, I have never been to an opera concert, and I've seen it on TV, and I just remember walking around the house and trying to sing, you know, opera and hold my voice. So tell me, Liz. Let me do a little something for you. You tell
all right,
me.
All right. Come on, give it. Go ahead.
Listen, it comes from down here and it has to come up, right? Like, so.
Okay, sure, yeah.
You might inspire me. You might be saying, you're an opera singer. No, you probably say, what you're really going to say is, Fran, please sit down. Don't try that again. But here you go. Wait.
Right, give me an opera voice.
All right, you first, and then I'm gonna
go. Okay, Fran, you got some high notes in there.
That wasn't too bad.
Hey.
All right, it's my turn now.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on.
Listen, when you see Liz perform, she is going to make us put our head down and slip our legs, okay, and kiss our butts goodbye, because we are horrible. She is amazing, truly amazing. What question you had?
Singing soprano is not an easy thing to do, and singing opera is not an easy thing to do. You really do need vocal coaching and vocal training. So what in your workshops and master classes, what can people expect to learn from you?
Oh, that's a good question. So I consider myself to be a master of what's called the bel canto technique. Bel canto in Italian literally means beautiful singing. And the idea of bel canto is that you're working to find a natural production of the instrument, and that you would sing always in a connected way. And if you're really singing in the bel canto style, it's actually very easy. So if someone comes to me, I usually work with people who have already had some voice lessons and some knowledge of the voice. Most of my students have at least a bachelor's degree in singing, but I do sometimes also teach special group courses for people who are more amateurs and casual musicians or casual singers. And what we tend to focus on is finding the connection of the breath in the body, and then also understanding how to produce the instrument in such a way that it's free and natural. You know, like even in my speaking voice, you'll hear that I'm keeping my sound very much up here, as opposed to keeping it down here and talking like this and like, you know, all of that. So it's just like, you'll learn how to be open and free in your singing. And I do teach people in all different styles how to find this through the bel canto technique. So that's what.
If a person can't sing.
Oh, that's my question. Yes, that's my question.
Still teach you. If a person cannot sing, should you just say, don't quit your day job? Or are they still teachable?
Well, listen, no, in 2020, quite frankly, nobody should quit their day job to become a singer. Even the most talented singers and the most successful singers have side hustles right now.
That's true.
Look, even if you look at the pop world and all the top divas, they all have side hustles and side businesses. So
that is true.
Nobody should quit their day job, right?
Right.
But I personally do believe that as long as I can teach you to match pitch with your voice, so that means if I sing, oh, then you can sing, oh, back to me in your own voice. Right. So as long as you can do that, then I can teach you how to sing. I can teach you how to get a beautiful sound out of your instrument.
So it's about a year.
Love you, Liz. My husband would love you if you can teach me. Like, oh, poor baby. Like, but you know what? I said I know God knew what He was doing, because I think I would just be horrible if I knew how to sing and been up on somebody's stage.
You would be a mess. I know you, Fran. You would be an absolute mess. You'd be a diva.
Yes, pass me my Fiji water, please. My Fiji water.
Does it have
So
a
tell us about
or not?
Yes.
Tell us about your studio, LIS, Studio LIS.
Awesome. So I call it Studio Lis for short, just my name, and LIS stands for Learn, Intuit, Succeed. And basically, I believe that if you learn your craft and your business and trust your intuition, you're bound for success. And so I have designed a collection of programs that support people not only in learning the instrument, but also in learning certain practices of living and certain ways of moving through your career. So in fact, right now I'm running a program called Quarantine Sing. And it's basically 6 artists who have self-selected to participate this summer in a program where they have set a collection of goals for themselves in their career, in their life, and in their vocal training. And every week we discuss their goals. I help them to set them to make sure they're realistic goals for this moment. And a big part of this program is also about finding peace and releasing anxiety in the midst of a crisis moment. So we're working in a very holistic way right now, that they get to focus on every area of their life and align themselves with certain principles that are based in the practice of singing, but also apply to life, right? So one of our principles, for example, is first take a breath. So if you're in a moment, if you're singing, you always have to take a breath before you do anything. But it's really funny, people forget to do that. And as a voice teacher, that's the thing that I have learned. I say probably more often than everything, take a breath. Like, how are you going to sing without breathing? But people always try to do it. And in life, it also serves before you begin anything, to take a breath. If you're stressed out, take a breath. If you're panicking, take a breath. If you're about to do something difficult that you've never done before, take a breath. So that's one of the ideas that we're working with. And in addition to that, I've brought in some industry professionals, some artist managers, some conductors, and other types of coaches that give the students feedback and also can potentially open doors for them in the industry.
Nice.
And then they'll do this week they have a concert on Saturday. My students have a concert, the Quarantine Singers. They have a concert, so they'll be doing solo performances where they can put all of this stuff that we've been working on into practice. So when I first started it was like a lot of different like little workshops, but now it's very holistic and full, total person kind of thing.
Right.
That's good, because a lot of times, whatever you're going through, sometimes it comes out through your voice.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. But one of the things that I learned, like, I think I can sing a little bit, but I don't. But I sing all the time in my car and in the shower. But one thing I learned this year was that you control your voice. Your voice doesn't control you.
Right.
I always thought that my voice controlled until I started actually controlling my voice. And I was like, oh, wait, I don't have to do what I was doing before, because I don't know the sound that comes out of my mouth. So it's weird, but I just want to share.
Well, it's funny, and I would actually tweak that a little bit.
Okay.
And because I don't think that the goal is to control your voice. I personally teach that the goal is to allow your voice. Your voice already knows what it needs to do.
Right.
And that's another concept that actually also applies to life, because there's an allowance that once you give into, things can become easier if you just allow people to be themselves, allow the world to go worlding, allow life to happen without having to control everything. And the voice is very interesting in that same way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to thank you this was so exciting to see you, Liz. We want to thank you so much for being on a Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. But before you go,
Fran.
will you please let our viewers know where they can find you, as we have our next guest waiting in the queue. So can you tell them?
And how can people find out about your workshop too?
Awesome. Okay, so you can follow, the best place to find me right now is to follow Studio Lis Voice on Facebook, or I am Lisa Stephanie on Instagram, which you see on my little name there. I am Lisa Stefani is my Instagram handle. And you can find out all about everything that I'm doing. I post in one of those two places, either on the Studio Lis page, on Facebook, or else on my Instagram page.
Awesome. So, thank you again so much for being on our show. I'm going to share your concert to our page. And please continue to let us know what you're doing and how you're making out. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you both. Thank you.
Bye. All right.
So we're going to bring in our next guest, Omar Tyree.
Yeah.
Yes, we have him. Omar, how are you?
How you guys doing? Yeah, I was running around, so I had to pull aside in a quiet parking lot. So I'm in the car.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Wherever you can do it. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I want to piggyback off of what Lisa said when she said, actually letting life, just happen and flow. I got to do the opposite, because I noticed that if I'm not in control, nothing happens. You know what I mean? It just sits there. And so I got to look at it the opposite. Like, even what I'm doing right now with films, I've been trying for years to get other people to do my films, and it didn't happen. And so now it's like, I'm doing it because if I don't do it, it's not going to happen. So it's like, philosophy.
But exactly. But we're gonna get into that, because I'm the same way. We're kind of like these control freaks. But let's Lynette, she wants to properly introduce you to our guest. So Lynette, can you do the introduction?
Yeah. So Omar Tyree was born in West Philadelphia. He was raised in Mount Airy. He is a writer, a father, a storyteller, an author, a spoken word poet, a filmmaker, a publisher, and a producer, to name a few. He attended Central High School and graduated from Howard University with honors, with a degree in print journalism. At the age of 22, he established his own publishing company, Mars Productions, and published his first 3 novels. Fly Girl was one of the most popular one of those novels that he published. His books were sold by the thousands, and he got a lot of attention from major publishing companies. He landed a lucrative deal with one of those major publishing companies called Simon & Schuster in 1995, where he went on to sell nearly 3 million copies of his books worldwide and became a New York Times bestseller in 2000. Omar Tyree also is the recipient of the NAACP Award, the Phyllis Wheatley Literary Award, as well as the HBCU Legacy Award. He was an honoree. He wrote and published 28 books and hundreds of poems, several reviews and articles, to name a few of his accomplishments. Omar Tyree is also celebrated as a West Philadelphia native and writer who was honored with a mural painting on the corner of 52nd and Market Streets in West Philadelphia. He has written, performed, and produced 2 spoken word poetry, hip hop, and R&B albums, Rise Up and Cold Blooded, and his latest film soundtrack, Monologues, which he'll talk about a little bit later in the show. So Omar has a passion for African American literature, film, as well as music. Through Omar Tyree Films, he will now offer his personalized reviews of different movie genres from new, old, and the classic films. So welcome, Omar Tyree, the one and only.
Yeah.
Welcome,
That's a
welcome,
long bio.
Yes,
I gotta shorten that thing.
Yeah, exactly. What you don't do, you know, and we don't really want to. When we ask for people's bio, we don't want to shorten, you know, all of your accomplishment. We rather, you know, whatever you send us, we're gonna let our viewers know what you have done, what you have accomplished. So we
Actually, I did shorten it. It was 7 pages.
Oh Lord! All right, see that?
We will be way past 8 o'clock.
Well, you know, the kids, they like bullet
all
points.
of his accomplishments, but kudos to you on all of them.
Yeah. Well, the kids, they like bullet points, you know. So a young lady told me about 4 years ago. She said your website is a not user friendly. I said, what do you mean by that? She said you have too many pages. I said, well, I'm not going to shorten what I. That's the same thing.
That's
I'm not
right.
going to shorten what I've done. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what the kids, they like bullet points. Get to it, lickety split, and then move on. You know, and that whole thing is, what have you done for me lately? And so that's why I've been busy lately, because it's not over with yet. As long as you're alive, you got things that you can do if you still have skills and what have you. And I grew up in Philadelphia with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, and Philadelphia in the 70s. When I was a kid, we had the hottest music in the country for black people. So a lot of people forget that we grew up in them times. If you was in Philadelphia like I was, and we listened to Philadelphia music all day long, every day, all day. And so it was like training for my ears to determine how to write music that said something and was still hot, because that's what we had in Philadelphia. It was hot music that said something. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to put together now. And I've loved films forever. I used to go to the Capitol Theater on 52nd Street in West Philadelphia, and then all the little theaters downtown, and then the Cheltenham Square Theater when that opened up, and I moved up to Mount Airy. And so I love movies. My family, the McLaurin family in Philadelphia, they love movies. Every time they come to visit me in North Carolina, they want to go to the movie room. They bring movies with them. They watching movies at the hotel, and then we sometimes go to the movies. You know, so I just come from a movie family. So when people start saying, well, you're a book writer, I've been watching movies way longer than writing or reading books and what have you. So the movies have been a part. And of course, if we're black, you know, we all listen to music. There's no black person alive that don't listen to music, unless you're going to lock them in a hole somewhere with no sound. You know what I mean? So we all listen to music. That don't mean you can all do it, but, you know, I'm artistic in that way where I will myself to study the things that I'm interested in.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So tell us about your latest project, your latest monologue.
Right. Well, I came up with that idea when I was watching the Joker movie, because he had, like, you know, of course, the Joker is a character breakdown. It's all about the character. How did he become the Joker? And so in my monologues, I break down 14 characters with subjects. You know, how do we get involved in domestic abuse? And so I have a person that represents that. How do we feel about black beauty for dark brown girls? You know what I mean? I got a person to represent that. How do we feel about murder and how murder happens? I got a person to represent that. White power is in there. I got a white guy to talk about that and represent that. Love and happiness. I got a person to talk about it and represent it. Mental health. I have a person in to talk about it. Sexiness. Is it too much? Is it, you know, all that? And then I do genius with the whole creativity. And so we got 14 topics where we're breaking down the thought lines of those topics in monologues, 5 minutes each for each person. And then I put it over hot music. And then we just let it roll. It's a very creative film, but it was a film that I could do with a smaller budget and still have it be very interesting and unique. And it's just a step in for me to start doing my own films where I'm writing, producing, and directing, just like that guy Tyler Perry, just like that guy Spike Lee, just like that guy Robert Townsend. And I'm a storyteller, so you're going to be surprised when I keep doing these films how well, you know, executed they are. You know, particularly when you start to attract more money people involved in what you're doing.
Right, absolutely.
So how can people watch it? How can people watch Monologue?
Yeah, you fade it out when you ask that question a little bit.
How can people watch Monologue?
Thank you. You can go right to my website, OmarTyreeFilms.com. That's films plural, OmarTyreeFilms.com. We're selling it, and then we're getting ready for Amazon because we had to do the closed caption. You know, they're serious about the closed caption, so we had to go back and, you know, pay a company to do that because that's a whole lot of typing and whatnot to do, and you had to have it a certain way. And so we're getting that ready, and then it's going to be on Amazon Prime. But right now we have it straight for me at my website, and if you buy it from me, you get the audio soundtrack and audio book. It's an excellent, you know, vehicle, 5 minutes each, people talking about those different subjects. You get that for free where you can download it and listen to it and you drive to work or wherever you're going, down to DC, up to New York, wherever you travel to. You can listen to the whole soundtrack and really let the monologue sink in, you know.
Right.
So that's right for me, OmarTyreeFilms.com.
All right.
So did you go back with the music that you put on there? Did you go back to your classical music roots?
Yeah, well, the music thing,
like the jazz.
Well, nah, you know, I came up with hip hop. I'm first generation. You know what I mean? So again, we created that music in the late 70s, and then it really exploded in the 80s, and it just kept going. And so I have jazz stuff, but I'm really a hip hop kid. We came up with it. We didn't call it hip hop, of course. We just called it rap music. And of course, I still love funk because we came up with funk. Disco kind of faded out, but disco was part of the 70s. And then, of course, you have soul music. So all of that is you know, is a part of hip hop because hip hop uses all of those different sounds, and then you put words over it. So really, hip hop is like a smorgasbord of all the other genres of music. Because sometimes I have like a hot love song that, you know, a hip hop guy might jump on, and I say, man, that's from an old love song sample that we used to hear during the Quiet Storm. You know, then they can use a jazz track and sample it. They can use a funk track and sample it. They can use a pop or a rock. And so rap music uses everything. Now they call it just rap. But I listen to the music and say, hey, that could have been a disco song. That could have been a funk record. That could have been a pop record because I came before hip hop. You see what I'm talking about? I'm 51 now. Hip hop is about what, 45 years old, something like that. And so we came before hip hop. So we know the music that they use. But no, it's not just jazz music. I started off doing poetry and jazz, but now it's advanced to whatever music I find that I like, I'm going to go ahead and record something too. So I don't have a style and I don't have a genre, but you know, the genre of execution would be considered hip hop. I do have poetry, but the poetry is to anything, not just jazz music. Yeah.
Right. So when do you even have time to sleep? Do you sleep?
I do sleep. I get about 4 or 5 hours a night. But, you know, when you get older, you don't need as much sleep. That's typical with, you know, older. I mean, my grandmother seemed like she never slept. If you try to sneak around, do something, what you doing? What you doing sneaking around? And you're like, Grandma, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing up? And so, yeah, some older people who are just busy-minded, we working all times of the day, all times of the night. So I get sleep, but it's not 8 hours and 9 hours. I don't know how to sleep that long because I got other stuff I want to do.
Right, absolutely. Because I mean,
when
everything.
When you wrote your first book, what inspired you to shift from music, your love for music, and film, to writing your book? Like, what was that process like? Was it difficult, or what was that process like?
What wasn't that first? You wrote, you're a writer first, and then everything else came secondary, or?
Well, I'm an athlete first, actually. If you're gonna call it that.
Here we go. He gonna add to his resume.
Yeah, I'm an athlete first.
He gonna add to his resume.
I still feel like a jock, you know what I mean? Football and boxing, you know. But okay, the writing came first, but you know it's unique when I start talking about music and film, people tend to act like that's not writing. Well, music is still writing, it's songwriting. Film is still writing. You're writing a screenplay. Every word that comes out of a person's mouth, you wrote, and then they can change some of it, but you wrote it. So whenever people say, you're not writing anymore, I'm like, wait a minute. Songs is writing.
You have to write.
Movies are writing. You know, so yeah, the writing of books came first, but I'm still writing. You know, I'm still writing all of it. Yeah.
Right.
So was it difficult though? Like, was it hard for you? Like when you wrote Fly Girl, for example, was it what inspired you to write that book?
Well, you know, people always talk about inspiration coming from other writers and other sources. the inspiration for me came straight from the people. When I got to the University of Pittsburgh, where I went before Howard, because I was still trying to be a jock and play football and run track and stuff. When I got to Pittsburgh, we had writing assignments where they wanted to test our reading and writing skills as inner city Black people. They knew I was from Philadelphia. We had people from New York, DC, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg. We had all these inner city Black people, and they wanted to test our reading and writing because we're still behind the 8 ball in terms of reading and writing level. Black people are, particularly Black boys. Okay, so they wanted to test that. And once they started doing that, they asked us open-ended questions. Write about your neighborhood, your friends, your family, what you like to do on a typical day. And I was like, so you want me to write about my friends in Philadelphia and what we do? And they were like, yeah. So at that point, I was like, okay. So I used all the slang and all the real stuff that we did in Philadelphia. And then we had to read it in front of the other students. And so when I read it, when I read the stuff I wrote, the other students were like, yo, dude, it's like we right next to you. We can hear it. We can see it. You're very descriptive. You got, because I had all the details, you know what I mean? Could do voices and all of that. So when it got to that level, then the teachers were like, yo, you are exceptional storyteller, exceptional writer. Could you write a diary? And I started writing the student diary of a freshman, right? And all the other students were reading it, seniors, juniors, everybody. Then I started helping other people with their writing assignments. I was still a freshman. So at that point, it's like, dude, you are gifted at this. Either you're going to use it or lose it and abuse it. And so you got what I call coulda, woulda, shoulda people. I could have did that. I should have did that. I would have did. I didn't want to become one of them people. And so I went right to work at working on books. And I had a friend from Pittsburgh that challenged me. He said, Omar, you write so much. You tell all these stories and whatnot. You need to write a book or something. And he thought I would back down because typically when somebody challenged you like that in front of the whole classroom, I had a whole classroom of Black people when he challenged me, typically people back down. But I'm a West Philadelphian. I don't know how to back down. We go out there and fight. We take our shirts off. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to write me a book.
Yes.
So that was it. I said, I'm going to write me a book. And once I said that in front of all the other students, they held me to it. But I was going to do it anyway because, you know, that's how we are. If I say I'm going to do it, that's what I mean. You know, so I started writing. It wasn't really an inspiration thing. It was more of a, you know, you can do this. Don't waste that gift. And you've been challenged. Go ahead and do that. And so I stepped up to the plate and knocked the ball out the park, and I kept on swinging.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I'm yeah, it is awesome, and I'm so impressed with that. And like you said, you know, the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, so many people either, you know, things, you know, came in their pathway where they were unable to fulfill their dreams or really do something that they were good at. But you know, your persistence and to continue and knowing your worth, you know, that's definitely something to be commended about because you know, but and it's a lot of people, it's so many people, unknown people that can sing, you know, they don't, everybody doesn't make it. That's the bottom line. So many don't make it at the end of the day. And you know, I'm thankful to be able to have this platform here on the Real Recognized Real Show to allow people to come on because, you know, we are doing some great things and people, the world should know about it because, you know, we have so many from all over. So it's not just with the internet, it's really good because it's not just Philadelphia, New Jersey, or Delaware that is looking at our show or listening to our show. You know, it's Hawaii, it's Egypt. I'm a world traveler, so I have so many people from all over who actually, you know, tune in and want to even be a part of the show. So, you know, to hear all that you're doing, it's like got my head spinning like, woo, woo, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. You know?
I was
you got to work hard.
To your point, Franchella, I was getting ready to say that Franchella wrote her first stage play, Twist the Seasons, which she's trying to turn into a feature film. So, with that being said, like a lot of the different people that you try to approach, unless you have like a big name person behind it, it's kind of hard to knock down those doors or to even get people's attention. So what advice would you give for aspiring writers or aspiring people who went from writing to transition into film? What advice would you give them?
Well, I always start with the top two. I just say writer's right because I got a lot of people that say, I've been thinking about writing. I always wanted to write. You know, I wonder how to write. And I'm like, write. You know, what are you talking? All this talk, just write. Get a book and start writing. Get on your typewriter, start writing. You got a cell phone now where you can text yourself and put notes. Go ahead and start writing. And you can always revise it and improve it and share it with people and get better at it. You can always take writing courses at, you know, CCP right over at the Community College of Philadelphia, where it's the least expensive. You go over there and just write. And then the second thing is finish what you start. Because there's a lot of people that started, you know, I started writing. I've been writing it for 5 years. I finish that thing, man. What are you doing? You know, finish it. And so we have to be anal. If you want to be a writer, you got to start writing it and you got to learn how to finish it and then learn how to improve it along the process. That's called revision. We can always share it with other people, tell somebody, help me to edit this. What do you think about this? But you can't do that until you actually start writing something that you actually can complete. And then you can get the feedback and start to improve. But if you don't write, nobody can see what you're trying to improve. And if you don't ask people on finished product, then it's still incomplete. They're going to say, well, finish it first. So you always want to finish and you always want to write first. So that's what I tell everybody, because you get too many people who are thinking about it and not doing it. You got to do it, and then you can think about it after you've done it with a whole group of people who read it. You can do group discussions and all that, but you can't do that if you don't have it written already. So I always tell people, writers write and finish what you start.
Right. And just
make sure when you're sharing it with people, make sure that you make them sign non-disclosure agreements.
Right. Yeah, because
you know what, come out with your product before you do. So.
And it's sad, you know, even the ones that you might trust. I mean, everybody's biting off of, you know, I mean, it's just a cutthroat industry, you know, no matter what you're doing in entertainment, it's just so cutthroat. But I know you have an album, right? Frontline, that, you know, shout out to Philly Hot Radio. You know, we haven't been in the studio due to the COVID-19. But we can't wait to get back into the studio, and we're always sponsored by Philly Hot Radio. So we'll make sure we'll get that into rotation for you. But I probably can put it.
That's big. That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say something about that. When you start talking about, you know, rotation, one of the things that I look at with music, you know, because some people say if it's hot, The reality is, if you only hear a song 2 times, even if you feel it's hot, it's going to be out of sight, out of mind. When these kids get songs that are played 40 times a day, even if you hate that song, you'll find yourself knowing the notes, knowing the words, bubbling it to yourself, and you're like, I can't get that song out of my head. Well, if you do anything 40 times a day, and so I'm adamant about that, understanding how it works, dude, we make hits by playing it, and if you got to have a really bad song for a person not to know your song, if they hear it 10 and 20 times a day, that song got to be horrible. You know, and I don't put out horrible stuff. It's going to be quality stuff, but you have to get those repetitions. You have to get them. And that's why I'm going to do 1 million interviews and talk to 1 million people, because that's a part of being an artist. You have to be relentless about what you're doing. And I have that Philadelphia relentlessness, that fighter spirit from West Philadelphia, from the bottom. I'm going to keep fighting, because these are things that we have to get out there. We have to make them happen. So I thank you for even saying that to me. You know what I mean? He's trying to go ahead and put a song, because we have to have that to happen, to more positive songs and songs that are more mature than what we're hearing on the radio from our people right now.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I haven't had the pleasure of really listening to it right now. But, you know, I did want to play it, you know, a little tidbit for it, but it has to be clean, because we do promote clean, you know.
Always clean.
Yeah, because
I'm old school.
I have a lot of
we had some of the hardest people that would come out, but when they performed on stage in old school at the playgrounds, they knew it was grandparents, it was kids, it was all kinds of people out there. So you always tapered what you would say on the microphone when you brought it to the community. But now we have kids, notice I got these headphones on so I can hear you guys good. Now we got kids that listen to all that music in headphones, and they got all kind of crazy filth going on, but they're not sharing it in a community. So it's different how we grew up, going to the playground where the DJ set up these gigantic speakers and was spinning records where everybody can hear it out in the open. These kids are walking around where it's private for them. And so they listen to crazy stuff privately. But if you play that stuff in the community, it's like, what the heck are you doing? And so, no, I'm old school. It's always going to be clean. And I still had a struggle with young people because I'll tell them, take that out, change it. They're like, hey, man, you're not going to tell me what to write. I'm like, dude, it's not going to make radio anyway.
Right.
It's going to be a big gap in the music. So go ahead and change the word to something that we can play. So, yeah, you ain't got to worry about that with me.
That's
right on. Oh, history.
Yeah, sounds.
A good point you made. That's a good point you made there, because a lot of the young artists, they want the freedom to be able to. I want to be myself. I want to keep it real, and I want to say this, and I want to say this. But can you play it on the radio? That's the key. Can you play your music on the radio? If you can't play your music on the radio, it's pointless. So that's a good point.
Right. Let me see if I can get a piece of this up.
Any new songs on what's been going on out here?
No, not on the radio. Maybe some underground record from an old school got something.
So I guess you need to start this fire then.
All right, I got you. When you gon' meet me on the front line? We got a rally at the courtroom. We meet up at 9. When I'ma see you on the front line? Stop playing, this is serious. We running out of time. When you gon' meet me on the front line? We need to stop racism as an institution. I need to see you on the front line. You got money? Put it on the revolution.
They say politics ain't they style, so they waiting for J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar to do it. You ain't black, cuz you ain't going through it. You got nothing to say and nothing to write. You rather freestyle and smoke the whole night. And these young boys be like, it's not my style, OG. We rap about the bag, the girls, and jewelry. And at times like these, they go on vacations, waiting in lines at the mall for PlayStation. They ain't ready for this life for real. This ain't the time to chill, it's the time to get busy. I've been writing for the people since Puffy and Biggie.
Yeah! When you gon' meet me
on the front line?
We got a rally at the
Yeah.
When you gonna meet me on the front line?
Right. That's the anthem.
Yeah.
That's the anthem.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And that's, you know, when we grew up, we understood how to put hooks down that meant something. And so this is old school, a hook. That hook is phenomenal. And we're going to do a video in Charlotte this Saturday. And the girl that's doing that hook, she going to have a whole 60s look with the afro and the whole, she going to do it up like a Black Panther, dude. And we going to have the bull horns out there. So you're going to get the feeling of the 60s and 70s revolution. And that whole song, the whole feel of it, even a woman yelling, yeah, right on, you know. And so we got all that stuff. But that's how I grew up. We understand how to produce a whole record to give you that feeling, you know. So that's what we're going with. And it's all clean, but I know how to bring the, you know, the heat. So it's not like I'm going to be a soft dude. You hear the vocals. I'm going to bring it like Chuck D from Public Enemy. He don't have to curse. But it's the tempo, it's the demeanor that you have where you get the same point across where the young guys know, like, who's serious? You mean that? It's just the way how you say it without using any cuss words.
Exactly, the message.
That's right. So thank you so much for being on a Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. We appreciate you. Can you please let our viewers know where they can find you, your all your social media handles and your website?
Yeah, my name is OMAR TYREE, and that's what I use for everything. I'm not part of this new generation where you creating pseudonyms and all that. I work very hard to get my name out there, and so it's Omar Tyree on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, LinkedIn. Everything is Omar Tyree, because you know we used to work hard to get our names out there. So I'm not going to change it around. You might hear me call myself the old head, which is the Philadelphia terminology, because I'm an old established dude now. You might hear me say the griot, which means storyteller, the African storyteller. But for the most part, when you're trying to find me, it's all Omar Tyree, and then I'm putting out the music and my films out under my company, Hot Lava Entertainment. So you're going to hear that a lot. You're going to see that a lot. Just like you hear Bad Boy, Death Row, you know, Cash Money. I'm going to be pushing Hot Lava, and it's all going to be clean material that's quality and good. I'm not putting out no garbage. It's going to be hot stuff, but it's going to be clean, and it's going to speak to the people the way we need to.
Right. Absolutely. I have an artist. I have my own entertainment business too, Jet Plane Boys Entertainment, and I have an artist, P. Shaw Production, who actually has written our introduction for our radio show, and he's a fabulous artist too. So I love to connect people, get great artists together, and to make some beautiful music, man. I mean, it's just all the talent in one place. It's just amazing. But we want to thank you for being on a Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. Please keep us updated what you're doing. Please come back again. And I'm sure we'll be in contact, behind the scenes as well.
Sure will. Y'all got artists, I gotta fill out. Yeah, I gotta fill out this album. So I'm looking for some young Philly artists. I want to be like Quincy Jones, Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, Barry Gordy. So I'm looking for these young people. I actually didn't want to do the Frontline record. I was forced to because these young people back away from politics. That's why it's my first line. They don't want to say anything that's political. They don't want to say anything that's black. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's where we are now. Y'all just want to be pop artists and don't represent the blackness? This is ridiculous. And so I had to do that song because young people kept backing away from it. So I need some brave young people who want to represent positivity and be funky for black people the way we used to. So I'm looking for young artists. Let Philadelphia know that.
That's right. I got a whole bunch of them in my family. I sure will pass on the word.
Right on.
That's right. She sure do. So thank you so much. All right, you take it easy, and we'll be talking to you again.
Thank you so much, and best of luck to you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
So that was an awesome show, Franchella. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Mm-hmm. As always, thank you so much. I see Darlene on here, and Tony and Yolanda, supporting us, and some others. And of course, if I had my glasses, I can see the names. But thank you so much for tuning in. We shout out Philly Hot Radio. Yes, we would love to be back in the studio, but until this pandemic is over, we'll be doing our show live at home. We'll probably switch over to our YouTube channel, and then it will also be live on Facebook as well. So YouTube and Facebook.
On YouTube, what's the name on YouTube so they can start subscribing now? So when we do switch over,
it's a Real Recognized Real Talk Radio on YouTube, as well as Philly Hot. So we're trying to combine it so that we'll be able to get it on both of the platforms. We wanted to be able to be on all the platforms if possible. So please follow us on our page, our Facebook page. We will list it there so you guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Philly Hot Radio channel. So just follow us on our page. Is the Real Recognized Real, we're on every social media platform. We're RRR Talk Radio.
Yes. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all stay tuned when we're on again next month. Thank you to our fabulous, amazing guests. If you or anybody that want to be a guest on our radio show, on the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio show, send us an email. We would love to have you. The email address is rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com. So send us an email. So what we'll also need is a brief bio, and your headshot. If you're interested in promoting your product, business, or service, you can do so. There's a small fee, but we'll talk to you about that if you're interested in doing that. We also have spin packages available on the Philly Hot Radio. So if you're interested in promoting your music and you want to buy a spin package, send us an email and we'll talk to you about that. Again, RRR Talk Radio. So make sure y'all get the word out to tune in to the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio show. Franchella, would you like to leave them with anything?
Be blessed, be safe, wear your mask, and stay black. All right, y'all, we out.
Hey.